Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 61 of Talkin Kentucky. My name is Coleman Scott. His name is Caden Holmes, and we're joined by, once again, having the Shade and Sharp background on the show, Jonathan Holmes. We always welcome the Shade and Sharp background. Jonathan, how's it going?
Never forget.
Hey, it is going. It's been a long day and a long week. We've had band camp this week.
I was going to ask if you'd been to band camp. How's the Glasgow Scotties band camp going?
It is going. We're like really young this year, so we're kind of learning how to do everything for the first time. And
It's starting to sound like Cal.
Yeah, we're real young. You know, we got to develop the talent. You know, they're just kids. These are not machines. You know, they're just kids.
It's a process.
Yep.
It is a process, and I say go a lot. So,
well,
go and goes up.
All you need is get open, and you're basically Cal. So, yeah.
That's right.
Well, thanks for joining us as always, Jonathan. Caden still got I've still got the Lexington University Kentucky campus background, and Caden's got the men's basketball locker room background. Freddie Maggard last week thought it was NASA for some reason. I guess I could see that being NASA back there. It's got the blue lights, and you know, if anybody should know what NASA looks like, it's you, because you lived in Houston for a little bit, Caden.
Yeah, I was about to say I did live in Houston, so there's that connection there. But it's not the first. NASA's not the first thing I think of whenever I see New Orleans on the floor in the 2012 national championship banner. But to each their own.
That's true. Well, we got a lot of stuff to get to tonight. The past couple weeks, we've had sort of more serious shows with having Freddie on and everything, and talking seriously about the state of Kentucky basketball and previewing football and stuff like that. So we definitely have plenty of stupid stuff to talk about tonight. But we do, I think, have to start with the men's basketball team, because we did go undefeated in Canada at Global Jam. We did win the gold medal, which I don't know if any of us really expected. As Caden said last week, it is better to win those games than to lose those games. So we don't know if we're ready to win the national championship quite yet, but certainly winning them is better than losing them. But where I want to start is, how good do we actually think we are? Do these games matter at all? Do we think we're good at basketball? Or are we not sold on it yet? Like the past few years we've done these summer tournaments. So, Caden, I'll start with you. What's your biggest takeaway from the team going 4-0 in the Bahamas? Which, by the way, is as many wins as Louisville had all year last year. So just throwing that stat out there too.
Yeah, it's hard to tell at this point. I'm not going to lie. That last game, I got a little excited just because I feel like the final game against Canada, they kind of finally showed somewhat what they can do. And Clyde says our two bigs are still not playing, so it's really hard to tell I don't know what Cal's going to do with the lineup by the time they start playing again. But I like the guard play. We have a bunch of shooters and makers. It seems like Antonio Reeves being back is a big deal, and I was really impressed with Justin Edwards. Especially that last game, I think he is the real deal, and I understand why he's probably going to be the number one draft pick.
See, I only really watched the first game. That's partly my fault, but partly because I didn't get CBS Sports, so I went to KS Bar, watched game number one, and Justin Edwards was kind of quiet in that game. So was Reed Shepherd. So I watched some of the highlights, but I haven't gone back and watched all the games yet. But so Justin Edwards is the real deal, apparently.
Yeah, as I said on Brad's show a few days ago, he's like Terrence Jones, except he has like dribbling and shooting ability. Like, he's really strong at the rim. He can finish, and he can run the ball down the floor. Yeah, I feel like he can just do a little bit of everything.
Reminds me of Keldon.
Work on that defense maybe, but everything else he's got.
Yeah, well, speaking of Clyde's tagged just about everybody on Facebook here in the comments here. Yeah, he's tagged. It looks like 10 or 15 people in the comments here, which is not bad. He even tagged Scott Holmes down here to remind him that the show was on. So gotta do that. Which Scott Holmes is also in the comments down here. He says still hard to tell if we're good or not. And Clyde also has all the scoop. He says Ugana's surgery went well, which I'll take Clyde's word. I'm not going to doubt Clyde, so I'm just going to take that, at face value.
But weren't they supposed to be out for like a couple weeks, and now it's October?
Well, welcome to Kentucky basketball. That's kind of how things have gone the past few years. He also says Reeves is the best shooter in college basketball, which I can't disagree.
I can see it.
Didn't he have over 20 every single game? And I almost keep saying the Bahamas in Canada.
And he was throwing it up there like he didn't even care. I loved it. I hope he keeps that up this whole season.
We know that's the secret.
Confidence.
It's not caring. That's where confidence comes from. Is not caring. That just like trumpet. But Jonathan, what are your takeaways? Do you think we're good?
I'll be honest with you. A lot of this stuff I'm hearing for the very first time because I was not able to watch any of the games and really didn't do a good job of kind of keeping up with it. I'm trying this season. This is a terrible outlook, but it's been so discouraging the last couple that I'm trying not to get too optimistic until I know for 100% sure there's reason to be. So probably by the end of the season when everything's over and hopefully we win, then I will be like, man, why didn't I enjoy this, journey a lot more? But I don't know. I really hope that things are kind of turned around. It sounds like they are turning around. Like there's been some staff changes and things. It sounds like, things are being kind of put in place to make you feel like that, maybe there's a realization that nobody's satisfied. Even Cal, you got to believe that he wasn't satisfied with the results. I mean, he's been historically good, and so I know he's taken a lot of heat, and I've given him a lot of heat the last several years. But there's got to be a part of him that also, really wants the team to jive and play well for everybody involved, including the kids that want to go to the pros and want to make the big dollars. So I don't know. I hope things are kind of turning around and all the optimism is truthful and things go the way that we hope that they will by the end of the season. The thing that makes me nervous about I've heard him make some comments about this team is playing like his best groups have, but I mean we've had one championship where everything has gone the way we want. I worry a little bit about if they're not really running a lot of set plays or designed offense. Things when we get to the very end of the season and we're playing the really best teams, they study every single player on our team and they know exactly what we're going to do in every situation pretty much. And I worry a little bit about how a team that's not well designed as far as like being prepared for a specific game, like how are they going to respond when the defense is really, really good and the other team's hitting their shots,
Yeah, in 2012, it worked because of a guy called Anthony Davis. I feel like the lack of plays because he could just clean up at the rim.
When you have Anthony Davis, it just kind of works out. Yeah, that's for sure. Well, that's one of my takeaways is that we did shoot a ton of threes in Canada, which made me feel like we were actually playing modern basketball. Claude in the comments here says that was Bradshaw that they were saying that was going to be a couple weeks, and now it's October. It wasn't about Uganda. So he's calling you out there, Caden. You need to get your facts straight there.
Clyde, we didn't know what was wrong with Uganda, and then all of a sudden we figure out he has a broken foot.
Clyde says Uganda's timetable's a couple months, which I did see that. That's definitely
at least
true.
A couple months with a broken foot.
Well,
we might not see him until spring, honestly.
Well, I say all that to say, like, are we going to get worse when the bigs come back? Like, or is he going to try to play Bradshaw like at the 4 and like Thiero at the 5 or something? Because I heard that that Trey Mitchell like sprained his ankle in some way too. I think I heard this on KSR. He like almost wasn't able to go in Canada, and we almost had to actually play Thiero at the 5 for like the entire tournament.
I thought he actually did play at the 5 for a few minutes.
He did. Well, Cal even said that he liked Mitchell at the 5. Which
Thiero. I thought Thiero actually played the 5 for a.
I'm sure he probably did. I mean, we just had Mitchell, so I mean, we didn't have Uganda or Bradshaw, so he probably did. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think he has gotten taller. By the way, Thiero. Yeah. He looks bigger.
for some reason he does look bigger. Speaking of
Do you
Terrence
think
Jones,
is it a coincidence that we have these random mysterious injuries every single year? It feels like
no, it it happens. It happens every year. It's just like something to get used to now. I feel like our players get hurt more than any other team in college basketball, and even in the NBA too. Like Jacob Toppin is out for the summer. He got hurt. Shaden Sharp is apparently got injured a lot too, but that's a different story. But I feel like our guys actually get injured like a lot. So
I think Ugana's foot is actually broken, considering there's like footage of him having to be carried off the floor.
yeah,
But,
he was
but yeah,
yeah.
but what's wrong with Bradshaw? What's that injury? Does anyone know?
No, I don't know. Maybe Claude does.
Like I heard that he right after they said he was injured, did they not have a some kind of camp and he was playing with the kids and stuff?
That's right. Yeah, at the
Oh,
Calipari camp, he was like playing with the kids. So it had to have been a minor procedure, right? What worries me about Bradshaw is he's in that like clutch organization or whatever it is. That's his agency, and they like, if you sprain anything, they don't want you to play till you get drafted. So
is that
that's
who
what
Livingston had signed was clutch?
Yeah, that's Livingston, and of course that's LeBron's guys too. So we all, you can read between the lines there. So
the irony of the fact that they're called clutch and they don't play in clutch games is really funny.
Clutch with a K. Maybe it's a different definition. Claude said he got injured during the McDonald's All-American game. Well,
but what was the injury?
I'm thinking a lot of things right now. I probably can't say on the show, but it's probably one of those things that we've mentioned in our
Cody
in
would
our
say it.
Chat. Yeah, Cody would say it. He wouldn't care. Which where's Cody? Is he too good to be on the show tonight?
I think we wore him out at bank camp.
Oh, okay. He's probably still smoking, as Caden said on one episode. He goes, "You still smoking?" And
yeah, it was like a 5-second pause. I said, "So, still smoking?"
Hey, he actually is smoking. We are preparing some meat for our staff lunch tomorrow, so he technically is smoking right now.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Clyde says his foot. But Clyde, what's the injury? What's wrong with his foot?
It's hurt.
I just think these agents have a lot of money on the line, and I think they're basically pressuring these guys not to play. I think that's what happens.
Claude says he doesn't like Rich Paul. Who's Rich Paul?
I think he's in Clutch, one of the agents or something.
Well, I don't like him either if he works for Clutch. So, one positive takeaway from all this is I think Reed Shepherd is better than we thought. I knew he was going to be good. Like I thought he'd be good coming off the bench, but he might even start with how well he played, honestly.
Yeah, I thought he'd be good, but I was afraid Cal wouldn't play him.
That too. Well, he kind of had to play him in Canada because we didn't have another choice. Didn't have many guys, but his defense was great. Like the way
blocking threes.
Yeah, well, speaking of defense, like pressing, I hope we actually press during the year because I feel like that made a heck of a difference. Why would you not press? Like, what's the point of not pressing? Because we suck at defense anyway, so we may as well press.
I don't know. Is he worried? Is he worried they're going to throw the ball over the guys that are pressing and then get straight to the rim?
I guess he's worried we wouldn't be good at it. I don't know.
Well,
maybe that takes too much practice. I don't know.
We got so many guards. Yeah. We do need to press though.
He's got to think up some plays. If we press, we got to actually make a press. Did you all see Caden? You probably watched the most basketball in that tournament out of any of us. Did we or did we like have any inbounds plays at all?
If we did, it didn't really stand out to me.
And did we play a 2-3 zone?
Analyzing we did play some zone every now and then.
Yeah, apparently
it wasn't like an entire half, but there was some zone.
Okay. Well, that's promising. I mean, again, it's better than not pressing or not playing zone or not winning the games. I think all that's better. But do you think this is actually going to transfer over to the year? Because there's something about we thought that Tyler Hero team was going to go 40-0, and then we lost to Duke by 30. Caden said the other night on Brad's show that we lost by 50, and I was in the comments and I said, to be fair, we only lost by 30. Just to get the stats right there. But how different is it going to be when the year actually starts?
I don't know. I don't understand why there's no transfer. How can we digress? Like that's what I don't get.
Well, I know. Well, we did last year too. I thought we looked great in the Bahamas, and to be fair, we were playing like Mega B-Max, teams like that, and we're playing actual countries this year, which that has to be a little bit better, right? Like these teams are definitely better than Mega B-Max, right? We're not crazy about that because I feel like all the other fan bases are telling us to calm down, that we're overreacting to being this good. But Baylor Cal said it himself. Baylor went 1-4 in this tournament last year, so. I think he was preparing us for that record, but we, went undefeated.
I think these players are better than the Tyler Hero players. I think that it would be. I also said this on Brad's show. I think it's more comparable to like the De'Aaron Fox year. And that year, we didn't really have a big man that year either, did we? We had Bam, but who else did we have that year? We had Monk and Fox, Bam.
I think Bam was it. Yeah, I can't think of another big guy from that year. Can you, Jonathan? I don't know if I. Yeah.
But as far as guard play, I would compare this team to that team. And that team was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it was.
Until the North Carolina game.
Yeah, that was a little different. But hopefully things will continue well when we go into the actual season. What's our non-conference schedule look like this year? Do we know yet? We're playing. I thought we were going to play Duke in that new ACC challenge this year, but we're playing Miami or something, which I don't get. I don't. That's not a marquee matchup in any situation. So I don't really get that. But are we playing Kansas again this year? I think I don't know if I dreamed that, but I feel like it's official that we're playing Kansas.
I think we are. I'm gonna look it up.
Because I remember thinking, oh, man, we're going to play Hunter Dickinson and hopefully make him pay for making that decision. But we might be all right with the guys we have. I don't know. I was worried how we would look, playing this small up there. But maybe it's good for us that we're playing small ball. Maybe it's going to suit us better with the whole modern basketball thing going on. So, but who do you think is going to be the best player? Caden, are you still standing by Justin Edwards?
Yeah, I'm saying Edwards. Okay,
I trust your opinion on that. I might still say DJ Wagner just because there's so much hype surrounding him and he was good. Or, maybe if I'm not just picking a freshman, maybe Reeves. Why isn't Reeves our best player? He scored over 20 games.
He's our best scorer. Yeah,
he's our best scorer. But all around player,
I'd say Edwards. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll go Wagner or Reeves. But
did we have anybody that was just looking like John Wall? Like you just look at them and they look different than every other player?
I don't think so. No, Caden seems to think like Justin Edwards might be that. But is it John Wall level though? I feel like people were talking about DJ Wagner being like John Wall when we were recruiting him. But does that exist? Have we seen anybody John Wall-esque since him?
De'Aaron Fox, maybe,
or Monk.
But yeah, they still didn't have the hype though. That was so crazy.
Yeah, that was.
Hey, we play Kansas on November 14th.
Is that in Rupp? Or it's probably there.
No, it's at Kansas.
Well, last time we played at Kansas, went all right. So
then we play Miami on November 28th.
Well, I'm not looking forward to that game. That's for sure.
That's all I'm seeing so far.
Well,
yeah, I'm on the UK men's basketball website, and that's like
Not
all they
seeing it.
have
Well,
for some reason.
yeah, I want that schedule to come out. So Claude says he can see DJ being that John Wall type of player. So
He
I
doesn't
hope
have
so.
the like athleticism of Wall, but he's a better shooter than Wall, I'd say. He can get to
Yeah.
the basket pretty well and finish at the basket, but he's not like out of the gym
And
athletic.
that's a lot. I mean, that matters a lot. We having people that can get to the basket and finish, because in years past we've had people that can get to the basket but couldn't finish, like Ashton Hagans. Ashton Hagans was probably the best player at getting to the basket and missing layups than
How
anybody
was our
we've ever had.
how was our free throw shooting?
That's a good what I saw in one game. I was happy with. I thought we knocked him down. I really only ever saw like Reeves and Wagner go to the line. But Caden, what you have any further thoughts on that?
Yeah, I thought I don't feel like we shot many free throws, honestly, but it didn't stand out as being horrendous to me. So it was a pretty decent free throw shooting team. But yeah, Clyde corrected me. I'm seeing this now. It says UK versus Kansas, United Center, Chicago. So it's not at Rupp, or it's the Champions Classic.
Oh, okay. So it's in where's the champion? Is that the one that's in the Garden? Is that Madison Square Garden?
Or State Farm Champions Classic is what it says. United Center,
Okay.
Chicago.
I don't know. Okay, it's in
We
Chicago.
struggled
Okay.
there, don't we?
Yeah,
Pretty sure
I think we've gone 1-3 or 0-3 the past few years in that something. So yeah, we've struggled. There haven't been many areas that we haven't struggled in the past few years. So
That's true.
yeah, we need to, except when we're playing Tennessee and when we're playing Kansas on the road. At least we still own Tennessee.
Always. And speaking of Tennessee, I don't know if you said, but we're doing that animal bracket later, and somehow Tennessee just always finds a way to make the bracket. So spoiler.
Oh, spoiler. Yeah.
Hint.
Well, yeah.
Hint.
Spoiler of bracket that I said we were gonna do some stupid stuff on the show today. So yeah, the bracket later in the show. But we'll kind of leave the basketball talk there for now, because we're all kind of into speculation now. So we, like I said, we've had a lot of Kentucky stuff to talk about the last couple of weeks, so we didn't get to talk about Bob Huggins. So I thought we had to talk about Bob Huggins a little bit on here. I would go through a timeline of events of everything crazy he's done in his career, but we've only got an hour, so can't get to all that. So he gets a DUI, right? And then he resigns, like everybody. He puts out that statement. West Virginia puts it out. The basketball program puts it out. And then comes out recently that he's claiming that he never resigned, that it was his wife that sent that text or email, and he's suing, apparently, or he's got a lawyer to get his job back. West Virginia is the gift that keeps on giving. Katie.
Wait, who's he suing?
He's suing West Virginia. Well, I don't know if he's actually suing them.
He's suing West Virginia because his wife sent them a letter.
Yeah, well, he's saying
something sounds a little fishy here.
He's the one that resigned ultimately. He resigned from his job, but I think what he's saying is that it was his wife that actually sent the email or the text with the resignation statement, and that he didn't know about it or something, and now he's like pursuing legal action to get his job back or something, which is just
I feel like he's just trying to get money. I feel like that's what this is all about.
Oh yeah, he probably owes somebody something, or he's just seeing what he can get out of it. Because I mean, it wasn't a buyout or anything. He just resigned. So yeah, he's trying to see how much he can get out of this and right off into the sunset. But I thought we were done. I thought it was crazy with the Bob Huggins stuff that came out before that. I thought it was crazy, but now with when he did the DUI, I thought it was done. I thought we were done with Huggins. But now that I saw him, I remember waking up one morning and just hearing about this on the news, and it's man, what else is going to happen? Huggins just won't go away. So,
at the end of the day, Trey Mitchell is a big man that can shoot threes, and they basically Huggins basically just handed him to us, and he is going to be a difference maker. So, thank you, West Virginia, for all your ongoing gifts and surprises.
Episode number 58 was Talking Mountaineers. So yeah, we've already established, thank you, West Virginia. I just think it's like, I mean, there's no chance he gets it. I mean, there's no chance that he can win that argument, right? That he didn't resign. How do you resign and then say you didn't resign? Like, I mean, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Like, if any of us called our jobs today and resigned and then tried to sue saying we didn't resign, like that would not work out well.
There's probably like legit proof that you wouldn't win that argument.
Like, West Virginia released some statement basically like, what? Like, what are you talking about? We literally met with you and you literally resigned. Like, what? So it's just sad at this point, honestly. It's kind of like Louisville being so bad. It's just like at some point it gets so bad that it's just sad. Like, you can't even make fun of them anymore. You don't even know what to say. But I think people.
And we still make fun of them.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Well, I think people were worried that he might like, what if he gets his job back and Trey Mitchell goes back? I don't think any of that's happening. I think we've got Trey Mitchell. I think we're safe from there. But I don't know how many West Virginia.
Canada.
How do you get a nickname like Huggy Bear, anyways?
Well, Huggy Bear is not smarter than the average bear.
There's probably a story behind that.
Yeah, I want to know what it is.
Wasn't he at Cincinnati for a while too? Before West Virginia, I think he was at. It was like Xavier or Cincinnati, something like that.
Maybe he was Huggy Cub then.
Huggy Cub. The way everybody's dressing like Bob Huggins now. By the way, like he used to be the only one that would wear like a sweatsuit to games. Everybody else used to wear suits. Now everybody wears like a quarter zip and sweatpants to games.
Cal is too. He was at Akron. He was at Cincinnati. He was at Kansas State for 1 year. And then he went to West Virginia.
I
didn't know he was at Kansas State.
I like when they dress up because it looks like they're just at a scrimmage when they just kind of roll in there like they're in workout gear.
Yeah, I know. I like the suit way better. I feel like that. Yeah, it's. And Clyde also says Trey Mitchell ain't going anywhere. No, he's not. So I think BBN can rest assured about that. Did you all buy lottery tickets last night?
Nope. My luck's not that good.
Oh no, mine isn't either. I still bought a lottery ticket though. It was up to $1 billion, the jackpot. So when it gets to $1 billion, I mean, you got to play, right? But apparently somebody in California won it. Somebody in LA, which
that would keep the lights on for sure.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, you buy one of those houses. Kate and I were looking at on one of the episodes a few episodes ago out in LA.
We could actually buy things on the show with that money.
But do you all know all the ins and outs of like how you don't have to get the jackpot to win in the Powerball? Do you guys know like all the rules of like what you got to do to win? So like it's like less money than you would think, really, for some of them. I think so. There's the 5 white balls, right, and then the red ball is the Powerball. So I believe it's like, I'm gonna get this pulled up here, but I think it's like if you get if you get 4, or no, if you get all 5 white balls, that's $100,000, which seems kind of not fair, right? We go from $1 billion to $100,000 if you just have one ball that's different. Then I think 4 balls is $100. And then you have, I think 3 balls is 50,000, and plus the Powerball, you got to get the Powerball. 2 balls is like $7, and 1 ball is $4. So you can win in more ways than one, but like I can't get over the drop off of like $100,000 to $1 billion. As you got to give me $1 million. For getting 4 of those numbers like that's worth more than 100,000 to me.
So how does this work? Do they know exactly do they know that somebody's going to win, like on a round? Like I don't understand.
I don't think so. I think it's totally random. Like that's why it keeps going up. When somebody doesn't win, the jackpot keeps going up.
Well, how do you know that they haven't just completely rigged it? Like what's?
I guess you
like,
don't. I mean, that was my first thought. Somebody in LA winning, like, you know, like the people in LA need the money. Like I feel like somebody in like, you know, Montana could go a lot further there than LA. You know, that pay a couple months rent in California. So I feel like people in these big cities usually win it too. Like it's never just like some podunk town, you know. But no, I think it's the completely random every time. So I think the highest it's ever gotten is like over 2 billion. Um,
Yazoo Lash, is that?
yeah, I think that's probably him tagging somebody. I was like,
Oh, I
yes,
was
it's a
about to say,
laugh.
is that who won it?
Is that who won it? Yes, it's a lash won it.
Hey, this
No.
is totally off topic, but are you like me? Do you get aggravated when you go to the gas station and you go and buy a drink or something, and then you have to wait like 20 minutes for somebody to get a lottery ticket and then scratch it off?
They have to scratch it off right there at the
Yeah,
thing.
they scratch it. I don't think they have to, but
They do.
oftentimes they will, and then because they want to claim it while they're there, so they'll like make you wait and scratch off their ticket. And like I want to grab the quarter and scratch it off for them so that it goes a little faster.
Yeah, I don't even know how to play those scratch off things. I feel like the jack. Do you think the Powerball is a waste of money? I mean, it's only $2, but at the same time, like your chances to win are like 1 in 23 million or something like that. So, like, probably not going to win. But I mean, what if you win? Yeah, you're not going to win if you don't play. So, are you? Are
I
you all
had
big
a scratch
Powerball?
off. I had a scratch off that was just sitting in my driveway one day. I thought it was like, a gift from God or something, but I pick it up and everything's already scratched off. So
Hey,
Oh,
I won
sad.
$40 one time, but that was it.
40? Dang.
That's
Yeah.
good. Nice.
That must be like getting three of the balls then. Probably goes from 1 billion to
Yeah.
100 to 40
Yeah.
$40.
Well, it was a
I just
scratch off.
feel like that's a lot of work. I feel like getting four of the balls it should be worth like 7 digits. So you're telling me five's worth $1 million, four is 100,000, or maybe it's
5 a
50,000.
billion. You said it's five's a billion, right?
No, five plus the Powerball is the jackpot. So whatever
Oh,
it
okay.
is, five. I think five is $1 million, and four is like either 100,000 or 50,000.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's scuffed, as we would say. Um, did y'all hear about this Miranda Lambert concert? How she was calling the people out.
Yeah, I watched part of that actually just before I got home today.
I haven't watched anything. I've just read about it on Facebook, but apparently, and you can tell me if I'm accurate on this, Jonathan. Apparently, like some girls were like taking a selfie during one of Miranda Lambert's songs at a concert, and she like basically calls them out and saying that they're more worried about their social media than being at the concert. And the girls got all offended, and this one chick came out with a statement that said, "I feel like she was determined to make us look like we were young, immature, and vain." Is that is that basically what happened, Jonathan?
I didn't hear that. I saw like I watched it right before we got in the car to leave this afternoon. So, and I stopped it before it got to where she was actually talking to them. I just thought she was singing, and I thought they were heckling her, so she stopped. I didn't realize that she went like there. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I think she stopped in the middle of her concert and saying like called them out for it, and the girls are all like upset about it. But is that can you blame her? Like, are you siding with the fans or Miranda Lambert in
I
this
don't side
situation?
with either one of them because, yeah, Miranda Lambert's completely 100% right. But it sounds pretty hypocritical because she probably literally uses social media to make her presence known and get those tickets sold and all of her performances on social media. Like I'm sure she's all over social media too. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
I feel like
right, but it's hypocritical.
yeah, they're paying for the ticket to go to the show, so they can kind of.
Yeah.
But I if it was like a concert band concert, then I can see where she's coming from.
Oh yeah, if you're well, how many people stand up in the middle of the host first suite and take a selfie and yeah, I don't know if people do that. I don't know if a band concert is good of a Insta backdrop than a Miranda Lambert concert, but it might be depending on the audience.
Hey, I did see I saw somebody knit a scarf in the Allstate concert one time.
Well, apparently Matt Jones reads books at baseball games, so everybody's got their thing, kinda. Yeah, you can. I mean, depending on how long the piece is. I mean, I feel like that could work. Claude's still tagging everybody under the sun here.
He's recruiting for us in the comment section.
He's really recruiting for us in the comment section. We got a lot of people on, so I'm excited about that. One more thing I saw on the news here that I had to bring up on the show. There's apparently a new I don't know if it's a distillery, what you would call it, place in Kentucky that's making vodka out of sheep's milk. It's sheep's milk vodka. So they take like the whey protein out of the sheep's milk or whatever that would normally be like a waste product or whatever, and they're making vodka out of it. I'm not a vodka guy in the first place, and I don't think I'd be trying sheep's milk vodka. That doesn't sound like a very intriguing thing to me. But would either of you give sheep's milk vodka a try? Are you big vodka fans in the first place?
No, I'm not.
No,
I probably would not give it a try, but it's probably not as bad as it sounds. Because I mean, there's flavored rums and other flavored vodkas. I'm sure it's not absolutely terrible, but no, I probably wouldn't be the first to go out of my way to try it.
Meals, I try to think about something other than where it actually came from.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Vodka is probably my least favorite form of alcohol because it's just like may as well drink paint or gasoline or something. I don't even think I've really had that many vodka drinks before. Maybe a martini. Martinis are not good. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's vodka, whatever that is. But we still need to do, and we're going to do a bracket later in the show tonight. What's the your least favorite beer? Think of the worst beer you've tried that you can confidently say it's the worst beer I've tried. I feel like that'd be a good bracket, best beer and worst beer. But I feel like having a bad beer bracket would be something we need to get together on the show.
Well, the bad beer I had was in Oklahoma, and there was one I can't really remember the name, but my roommate compared it to like wine. He's like, "This kind of tastes like wine."
I feel like you don't want your beer.
As soon as he said that, I couldn't drink anymore because it's like, yeah, he's completely right. And it shouldn't taste like beer. Should not taste like wine. So
if I had to choose, probably the worst beer I've had is probably Natty Light. Or honestly, Bud Light, either Bud Light or Natty Light. One of the two. Honestly,
those are good compared to some of the stuff that's out there, Coleman.
I'm not going to waste my time.
I'm not a fan of Budweiser.
Yeah, he said Budweiser.
Oh,
yeah. That's not. I have you all had regular?
You all aren't very cultured.
So we need to have bad beer to be cultured.
Yeah, it just puts everything into perspective. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Well, I'll stick with Natty Light being my. I don't plan to try any worse beer than Natty Light or Bud Light in my lifetime. I feel like it'd be a waste of money.
Next time we're together, I'll surprise you.
Well, I will look forward to that for sure. Well, guys, you can give us a shout on Talking Kentucky phone line. We got a lot of people watching and in the comments. We'd love to hear from you, especially if especially our regulars, but especially if you never called before. Yeah, give us a shout and tell us your thoughts on the Kentucky basketball team. SEC football media days is going on this week too. Let us know if you've been checking out any of that. 502-234-1504. I did do my due diligence as a Kentucky sports podcaster, and I listened to Mark Stoops' press conference yesterday from SEC Media Days. Didn't really say anything groundbreaking. Didn't say, Georgia or Bama, we're coming for you this year. Didn't say anything like that. Just basically say he's excited to get back to work and go Cats. So I can get on board with that for sure. Sounds like we're getting a call.
Yeah,
it's probably a Clyde hair call.
You're on with Talking Kentucky. Who's this?
It's your boy, Clyde.
Yeah, I figured. How's it going, Clyde?
We figured.
Good. I've been trying to recruit for y'all right now. Trying to get people, knowing about y'all.
Yeah, you're trying to get the whole tribe in here.
Huh?
You're trying to get the whole tribe in here. I see you. Thank you.
I'm trying to get the whole squad in here. Obviously, I got some people in here that obviously know who you guys are. I still tagged them anyway. But I'm just out there trying to recruit like Cal. I'm on a recruiting trip. Might as well, just get it done.
Yeah, recruit like Cal. Yeah, bring him in. Vince Marrow. Yeah.
I'm trying to assemble the best recruiting class of all time. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, how you guys doing?
Oh, can't complain. Another week. How are you doing?
Doing good. I know you all haven't talked about this yet, but I just wanted to say I was really pleased with what Stoops was talking about on Media Day yesterday. I just want to say I was just really, really pleased with what he was saying. And all I have to say on that is he's ready to go and excited. And, we should be too. So he's one of a kind. He's hard. He would definitely be a hard man to replace if we was to ever get rid of him.
So do you think we're coming for Georgia or Alabama this year?
Yeah, we're coming for all of them. We're going to slay the dragon.
Was it you or Josh that said we were going 12-0 last year?
No, that was me.
Yeah, I think I had.
No. I said 11-1. I had the only loss to Ole Miss. That was me. Josh,
Yeah, you called that. You have 11-1. That's right. I remember that.
That Ole Miss was still scarred to this day, to be honest. For some reason, I know I should let it go, but, I don't know. Darion Brown should have never tripped on that one play. I'm never going to let that go.
No, it still haunts me. And, even Freddie Maggard on our show last week talked about Kentucky was never the same after that game, too. So I agree with him for sure.
But I want to ask this. Do you all feel like, with that being as big of a game that it was at that current time in the season, do you guys think, and this is, I just want all y'all's thoughts on this, do you all think that it was too much pressure on us? Because Ole Miss has dealt with this before, and they've shown that they can, get the job done. But do you all feel like that was too much pressure on us not being in a game like that in a while, especially in the regular season?
I think it was because that was a game that we were supposed to win. I mean, normally we don't go into SEC road games, especially SEC West road games as Kentucky, and not be the underdog. I mean, usually we're the underdog, and that's how we are used to playing under Stoops, especially, is playing with a chip on our shoulder. And I also don't think it helped that Will Levis, was held in such high regard that year and had such high, draft status and everything. I think he felt a lot of pressure on his shoulders too, and he made some crucial mistakes as the game went on. So I think it was just the perfect storm for a road loss there. So. Yeah, I think this year, I think Devin Leary has a lot to prove. So I don't think he doesn't have anything to lose. So I think that's going to make a big difference having him at quarterback. And then I think the comfort level of having Liam Cohen back and a better offensive line is going to make for a better year. We get some of those quote unquote harder games at home this year. I mean, we get Tennessee at home, we get Florida at home, We even get Alabama at home. Not saying we're going to win that game, but I think the schedule lends itself to in our favor a little more this year because we get some of those harder games at home. I know we play Georgia on the road, but I don't think we're beating Georgia anyway. So it's I don't think it matters where we play that game. So yeah, that's my take on that.
I'm just not high on Joe Milton, and you guys know this. I just don't see Tennessee being that kind of a powerhouse this season. I mean, it takes a lot to replace a quarterback like Hooker. Now, the Hooker system, it could have all been Josh Heupel. We don't know. But he sure as hell made it work by, throwing that fast-paced offense that threw every defense off. And I don't think Joe Milton can work in that kind of an offense. I just don't see him. Like, Hendon Hooker's perfect for that. But Joe Milton, I don't know.
I don't know if you got to go back and listen to our with Claude. His big question for Tennessee is, did Hendon Hooker make Josh Heupel, or did Josh Heupel make Hendon Hooker? So that's the big question that we're going to be asking. I personally, and I hate saying this, I think if anybody can make Joe Milton work or figure out how to use him, it's Josh Heupel in an air raid, because he's got a heck of an arm. But as we saw with Levis, just because you have a strong arm, you can throw the football far, doesn't mean that you're going to be successful. You've got to be accurate, and you got to be able to make the tough throws. So that's why I think Devin Leary will be better fitted. And Freddie even said this too. I think will be better fitted in Liam Cohen's system than Levis was. So I think Joe Milton has the arm strength, but as far as all the other intangibles, we're just gonna have to wait and see if he has that.
Yeah, I heard from Dan Key and Darion themselves. I heard that they like the ball being they like Leary throwing the ball to him better than they did Will Levis, because they said Devin Leary throws more of an accurate ball than Will Levis, and that that's what they like about it.
Yes, yeah, no, I absolutely think so. I think Leary throws a more catchable ball, as they say. I think he can really put it in a spot that only his guy can get it, which is not an easy skill to have. But yeah.
Well, Clyde, I hate to throw you off. I hate to cut you off, Clyde, but we got a tournament to get to. But thank you.
That was the last thing I wanted to add. So I just want to throw that in there. I was going to hang up anyways, but thank you for taking my call. I know you guys don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to get off.
Thanks for recruiting for us.
Yeah, thanks for recruiting for us.
Yep.
So we got a tournament to get to. We got a bracket to get to as well on that.
We do. We got.
It's unofficial and an animal tournament.
Yeah. Oh, we did. Well, so I guess now is as good a time as ever to talk about this animal tournament here. If anybody else wants to call in, 502-234-1504, just give us a shout. We'd love to take your calls. Yeah, we got the football questions tonight here from Clyde. So try to fill those in here. But I saw something on the news. It's very sad. A woman got gored by a bison at a national park. That's
but she survived, right?
She survived. Yeah, I think she's in serious condition, but she's fine. Like she did not die. So that's good. But you just got me to thinking, like, man, I usually don't think of a buffalo as being really that scary of an animal, but it could, things could take a turn for the worse pretty quick. So I thought, something good can come out of that, and that it could be our next bracket on Talkin Kentucky. What animals are you most scared of running into in the wild? Living in Colorado for a couple of years, there's some crazy wildlife out there. We even got some questionable things here in Kentucky. So what better bracket than a wild animal bracket? That's
and we got Jonathan on here with all the hunting expertise, so it's gonna be perfect.
That's right. Yeah.
We can see if he's ever seen some of these in the wild. Some of them probably not, but some of them probably.
Yeah, you never know. So 3 people, perfect way to do a bracket. And so I have not seen this bracket yet. I think Caden put it together So if you're listening back on podcast and you can't see the screen, we'll break it all down on the audio for you, like Tom Leach here. It's blue and white, which is good. We do have some Carolina blue on there on the bracket.
Sorry, it's the one that looked the best.
That's
but,
okay.
You know.
It's labeled Talking Kentucky Animal Bracket, which is good because that's what it is. The first matchup here, we have the 1 seed Drunk Tennessee Fan versus I guess it would be the 16 seed. I don't know how many animals we got in this bracket.
How many? Oh, we got 16 animals, so we got 8 games.
6, so it's the 16 seed, I guess, the Panther.
I put all the participants in, and it just randomized. So this is no like 1 versus 16. It's completely random.
Oh, it's completely random.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
nobody put Shark in there?
Yeah, is Shark not in there?
Oh yeah, we got a shark.
Okay,
great white shark.
Pissed off skunk. I thought it said pissed off shark. Yeah, a pissed off shark you definitely wouldn't run into. I think a pissed off skunk would not be too far behind. And
I got pictures as well, so we can judge it on our experiences, the pictures, just anything you want to go off of. So first game we got Drunk Tennessee Fan, which is probably the worst, as we all know, versus a Panther. So
yep.
Here's the Tennessee Fan I had in mind.
That is a Tennessee Fan if I've ever seen one.
We got Farley in orange.
Yep.
What'd you say, Jonathan?
Looks like Chris Farley dressed in orange.
Yeah, it does.
We got the overalls.
The coveralls, nothing under it, and then we got the Panther. Kind of vicious, I probably don't want to see that in the woods.
Yeah, I'm taking the drunk dude
to win. So what we're doing? Which one would you least want to run into in the wild? Right,
the Panther for sure.
Okay, well, so you would vote for the Panther to move on then? Okay,
I'm thinking I never want to run into a drunk Tennessee Fan anywhere, so I'm gonna go with the Tennessee Fan.
I mean that's very. I guess I got to decide this one. I mean, the Tennessee Fan, they're gonna start talking about next year and stuff like that. And you don't really want to hear all that kind of stuff. But I feel like I could handle them, and I just have to talk about basketball for a minute, or just talk about the past few years in football. We've beaten them at least a couple times, so we can even out their ego with that. So I'd probably have to go Panther to move on. Oh, this is a fancy bracket. You can even select the winner.
Could not set winner. I got to start the bracket. What's that even mean? Okay, start tournament.
Yeah, start the tournament, like the Maui Invitational or something here.
Okay, sure. Start tournament.
Okay, I guess this is the official start of the tournament. So
nothing's happening though. Maybe this is scuffed.
It's well, in any case, I'd probably take the Panther. Whether it actually lets us select it or not on here.
All right, we're just gonna have to remember this, I guess. Okay. We got the Panther moving on. So the next game, we get the grizzly bear versus the Australian box jellyfish. You all might be thinking, what is that? I looked up the most dangerous jellyfish, and that's what it is. So we got a grizzly bear, standing in its pose there. It looks pretty mean.
It does.
And then we got the I just exited out, but it's a massive jellyfish. But you also probably don't want to see in the water.
Well, for me, I'll start on this one. For me, anything in the water kind of takes the cake. For me, Australian jelly, you got it saved there. Okay, I see that. I feel like I'd never be in the part of the ocean that you would see that. Anything in the water kind of scares me. A jellyfish, it can sting you, but I feel like it's easily avoidable. I feel like it probably can't swim that fast. A grizzly bear can run really fast, and I've seen like a stuffed grizzly bear before. They can be like 13 feet tall, and they're pretty scary. So I'm probably gonna have to go grizzly bear on this one.
Yeah, I'll go grizzly bear as well, even though I'm sure the jellyfish is probably more dangerous if you're ever
Hey,
around
but
it.
you got to think you can swim away from the jellyfish. You can't run from the bear.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Chances are that thing swims pretty fast.
Not as fast as a grizzly bear. That's
all right. So we're all going with grizzly bear.
Yeah, so that'd be that matchup there, grizzly bear and panther. So crocodile and pack of coyotes. Well, the pack of coyotes makes it difficult because there's more than one. I think it depends on how many coyotes we're talking about here, but I mean, there's been an old lady was just I think she's like 80 or something like that. Maybe she was even maybe she's closer to 90. In South Carolina, just got attacked by an alligator, and was killed. So
and crocodiles are even meaner. So
they are, and being from Louisiana, I know how crazy alligators are. So I might have to go with alligator on this one. I mean, the coyotes in that picture look kind of cute, honestly. I know
they don't look very intimidating.
They don't look that doesn't mean they aren't, but if I'm starting off, I'll probably go alligator.
All right, where are you gonna go with, Jonathan? You've experienced some coyotes, haven't you, with your hunting days?
Are those coyotes or wolves? Those are coyotes.
Coyotes.
Yeah, I would rather see a coyote any day than a crocodile.
Yeah, me too.
So the pack of coyotes, that doesn't change anything for you?
No, definitely not.
In
Especially
numbers?
if I have my 12-gauge shotgun with me.
Yeah, probably not.
All right, I'm going crocodile as well, so that moves on. So this next matchup's a real interesting one. We got Squatch versus the black mamba, which is like supposedly the deadliest snake in the world. So for the Sasquatch, I picked the Jack Link's Sasquatch.
You got a GIF there. It's not even a picture.
Yeah, I didn't even mean to do that. It just kind of happened. And then the black mamba.
Well, do we know that
you don't want to mess with?
Do we know that Sasquatches are real though? I mean, how can you see it if it's not real? We know black mambas are real.
I think aliens are probably more real than Sasquatch.
Yeah, so I'll probably go black mamba then.
I'm going the mamba.
Yeah, I'm going the mamba.
Yeah,
not Kobe, the actual mamba.
Yeah, no. At first, when you put that on there, I thought, are we talking Kobe Bryant or are we talking like an actual snake? So,
man, I really wish I could actually start the tournament.
Yeah, we wish we could start the tournament here. Well, it's okay. We have started the tournament. It just doesn't know. So yeah, we'll go black mamba. Moving on, taking on the crocodile. So we have Mike the Tiger or an alien. Again, aliens aren't real, in my opinion. So I'd probably go Mike the Tiger. Now, is that actually Mike the Tiger, or is that just a tiger?
Supposedly Mike the Tiger, but you would know better than me.
That doesn't look like it. Could be a past Mike. I don't think it's the current Mike. But in any case, I'll go Mike the Tiger.
I'm gonna go alien on this one because look at that thing. I think that's from the movie, but can you imagine if aliens were real and that's what we had to deal with?
Well, it'd win the bracket if aliens were real. But for the sake of wild animals, I'll go Tiger. Specifically Mike, being an LSU guy.
Yeah, I'm going alien. I don't want to deal with that thing.
So alien.
Jonathan, you said you just shoot the green guy.
Seems like the wise move to me.
That would be wise.
Sigourney Weaver did, isn't it?
We have
Sigourney Weaver. Wasn't she on the Alien?
I haven't seen that movie.
They're hiding in the bottom of the ocean, Clyde says. Could be. Those saucers are always over the ocean, aren't they?
Well, I'm not going to the bottom of the ocean, that's for sure. We have pissed off skunk versus Brazilian wondering what?
Spider.
That sounds awful. If it's from Brazil and it's a spider, that means it's probably big. And I can't believe it's on somebody's hand.
Check out this skunk.
Is that what a pissed off skunk looks like?
Supposedly they do handstands and then they just spray all over you.
I'm not gonna lie. If I say, well, I actually did see a skunk the other day, and I have a funny story to tell after this that I forgot to tell. I was telling Caden before the show. I don't know why this reminded me of it, but the other day I did run into a skunk. It was actually in my front yard. You know, I was taking the trash out. Heard something rustling. Didn't know what it was. I looked over. It was a skunk, and all I
Doing
could see.
handstands?
It could have been doing a handstand because all I saw, it was dark. All I could see was that white, so it could have actually been doing a handstand. But I booked it out. I ran out of there as fast as I could. So I was pretty intimidated. So I feel like there's not much, since it can spray you from a distance, that makes it more intimidating. Yeah, I feel like with a spider, you could at least hit it with a hammer or a shoe or something. With the skunk,
That
if
skunk looks like it's on a mission.
If I pull up and see a skunk looking at me like that, I'm running. So I'm gonna go skunk.
Man, I don't know. I think I'm gonna pick the spider.
All right.
That spider is supposedly the most poisonous in the world. So I don't know what that person's doing with it on its hand because they'd probably die if they got
bad
bit.
idea.
But
yeah,
it's a real bad idea. But
I've had a skunk walk within 5 feet from my foot while turkey hunting before, and I just stayed really still. So I'd rather deal with the skunk, I think.
yeah, for the simple fact the spider could kill you, I'm gonna go with spider. But I can't just completely disregard the skunk. But I'm still gonna go with spider on this one. So
hey,
Spider
some people have skunks as pets.
It's true. When I was looking up pictures, I saw someone like feeding skunk like milk in a bottle, like a baby or something. So yeah,
There you go,
that's
Cole.
a real thing.
This would be a good time to mention. I think Maggie Davis is going to come on the show next week. So this would be a good transition. We're talking about wild animals to having somebody from LEX18 come on the show. So just thought
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Anyway, chest beating gorilla versus great white shark.
Sharks scare me to.
Yeah, I'm doing shark. It's not even good. Well, that's pretty scary, honestly. But I'm doing shark. If I'm in the water, I'm automatically like a shark lives in the water and it's got like fins and gills and stuff. I'm a human, I'm not built for the water. So I'm in the shark's territory. So I'm probably going shark.
Yeah, you couldn't outrun a gorilla either, but the shark's probably a lot more aggressive.
We went to Disney World this past summer, and my kids and I and my wife were watching through the aquarium, and we saw a diver get attacked by a dang shark. And literally, chomped down on his arm with everybody watching him. I don't know how it didn't go on the news.
That feels
thing I've ever seen in my life.
That feels newsworthy to me.
Yeah.
And I know this bracket's random, but that feels like a championship matchup to me. You got gorilla and shark. I mean, that's like when the De'Aaron Fox team played North Carolina in the Elite Eight. I mean, that should have been the national championship, in my opinion. So that's a tough one to pick. But hey, did you get the tournament to finally start here?
Well, I don't think it started, but I can pick it on the second round. So,
well, if you do that,
I'll fill these in a second. But the last one, we got rabid raccoon versus the bobcat. So, rabid raccoon, obviously, the thing's got rabies. And then the first thing I thought was that freaking trash rat off of what's his name off of that Guardians of the Galaxy. That's the first thought when I saw this.
This is a good matchup too. I mean, it
looks like they both got rabies.
I might go raccoon on this one. That's intimidating.
Raccoons are usually pretty cute, but if it's got rabies, I'm not messing with it. So I'm picking raccoon on this one.
Oh, raccoon with the upset. I'm assuming it's an upset. I feel like bobcat's probably more dangerous. But I with that picture, I mean, I can't not pick raccoon. Let me see that. I love how serious this is. It looks like we're watching CBS March Madness. It says great white shark versus rabbit raccoon. It's pretty funny.
Who won? Didn't the Tennessee? Who won this? The Tennessee fan or the Panther won?
I think the Panther won. Yeah, the Tennessee fan thinks it won though.
And then the Grizzly Bear won. Okay. All right, so we get the Panther versus the Grizzly Bear.
I was actually pretty proud of that comment. That was good. I said, did you hear what I said about the Tennessee fan?
No, sorry, I was.
Did that cut? Did that cut? I want to make sure that gets on the podcast. I said,
no, what did you say?
I said the Tennessee fan thinks it won.
Yeah,
I thought that was too good not to repeat.
Yeah. They already thought they won the championship.
Yeah,
Panther versus Grizzly Bear.
Oh, Grizzly Bear. It's not close for me.
I'm gonna go Panther. You can't outrun a Panther, no matter what.
So you saying you can outrun?
They're gonna sneak up on you.
Oh, Grizzly Bear could come at you, and everybody in the building knows a Grizzly Bear is coming after you, and you're still gonna die. So I'd go Grizzly Bear.
I'm going Grizzly too.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You know they tell you to be really big and not run. I'm gonna be running like hell.
Yeah, you're gonna die either way, so you may as well try to run.
All right, so for this one, we had Crocodile versus Black Mamba.
Crocodile.
I'm going Black Mamba. That thing is dead. Within like a minute, you're dead. Kind of deadly.
Well, can it like shoot venom?
No, but it's faster than you could run.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think about like you see these videos of these zebras walking along the edge of the Nile or something, and these dang crocodiles coming up after them. I'm gonna pick crocodile.
All right, Crocodile moves on to face the Grizzly Bear.
Yeah. I know who's winning that one.
Alien won this one.
I think, yeah, that was a.
And I wish I would have figured out how to start the tournament earlier. It would have been a lot easier.
That was a rigged game. Alien beating Mike the Tiger. John Higgins ref that game.
Yeah, or any of the other 10 refs that hate us.
Yeah, really, any ref could be any of them. Doug Shows.
This one was Spider versus Alien.
I'm picking Alien.
Yeah, if we're doing the Alien versus Spider, yeah, I'm going Alien. That's not close.
That's a dead giveaway.
Yeah. Yeah, dead giveaway. Smash. Because the aliens just
don't think I'm going to hear on this show if we're doing Alien versus Spider.
The alien's going to smash it.
Smashed.
Smashed!
Okay, and this one we got Great White Shark versus Rabid Raccoon. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, Great White. Great White and Alien. Which apparently the alien lives in the ocean too, so that's going to be a aquatic matchup.
Yeah. Very aquatic matchup.
We're
down to the final four now. We got Grizzly Bear, Crocodile, Alien, and Great White Shark.
That's more stacked than this year's Final Four was. What do you have? Florida Atlantic, San Diego State.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's so non-existent. I couldn't even remember.
We should do a mascot bracket too. Owls, Aztecs.
Didn't we already do a mascot bracket?
I don't think we did a mascot bracket. I think we did a mascot tier, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Did we do a mascot bracket? Well, if we haven't done that, we need to do that. So,
all right, Grizzly Bear, Crocodile for the to go to the championship.
Grizzly. It depends on if
really scared of bears.
I'm scared as hell of bears.
Aren't they docile unless you screw with them?
When I look at a grizzly bear, I don't think docile.
Man, this one's hard.
That's me. That is hard. Well, crocodiles definitely aren't docile. It depends on if I'm in the water or not. If I'm in the water, then yeah, crocodile.
I'm gonna pick crocodile.
Crocodile makes it to the makes it the championship.
I didn't expect this. I kind of thought Drunk Tennessee fan would get a lot further than it did.
Well,
God bless you, and good luck, and go kick Tennessee's ass.
that's what the
Which the Panther did.
the Panther did. That was the pregame pep talk for the Panther. Kaywood Leopard came to the Panthers locker room before that. Alien and Great White Shark. Now that's a championship matchup if I ever seen one. I'm questioning how Alien got into this because it's just a wild animal bracket. It's not. I don't know.
They're pretty wild.
Yeah, but
they're out of this world wild.
Yeah, they are out of this world. That's for sure.
Well, here's the thing. There's a small chance if you encounter the shark, he might not bite you, but the aliens are just trying to kill you. I mean, there's no good aliens. Just watch the movies.
Supposedly they're just observing us, according to some people.
Well, it's according to some people. Apparently, great white sharks are too. I mean, you see all these shark experts come on the news and stuff, and they're like, "Well, the shark's not out to get the humans. Like they don't want to hurt the human or whatever." But I'm like, it doesn't matter because they still do. So
if they're hungry, they're gonna go for it.
They're like, it's a case of mistaken identity. I think that damn shark was just hungry. That's what I think.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So, but the alien's out to get you. But
think about Alien. We don't really know what we're getting into. I mean, it could be a lot worse than a shark. With all that technology they have, I'm going Alien.
I'll go great white shark still. That's my ultimate fear. My most feared animal.
Me too.
Coleman's hoping for a pansy alien. It's about 2 foot tall.
Well, again,
when Mars attacks.
Yeah.
He's hoping for like a Yoda type alien.
I still don't think aliens are real, so they're not going to pose a threat to me.
He wants ET.
He wants a ET little buddy.
Yeah. ET phone home. Yeah.
He wants a little green dude in a bicycle basket. That's what he wants.
Yep. ET go home.
All right, so where are you going with Jonathan?
He went with Great White.
Oh, he went with Alien.
I thought did you just say Great White's your most feared animal?
It is, but aliens, they're going to kill you. Like, you just know it.
Well, assuming an alien is...
They're going to use those lasers. Shoot right through you.
They don't fly all the way here just to go have dinner with you. They want to kill you.
Well, depends.
Crocodile versus alien.
Crocodile doesn't want to have dinner with you either. He wants to have you for dinner.
So this is basically like a dinosaur versus an alien.
I'm going to pick crocodile out of spite. I'm going crocodile.
I'm going alien.
Yeah, I think alien's like the wild card here on everything. I'm picking alien.
You just don't know what you're getting into. That's why it's now our champion. So
the alien won the wild animal bracket.
Yep. Something else I never thought I'd hear said on this show. But
No, me neither. Well, I think the great white shark it should be committed.
After the tournament starts, then we can name our winner, it says. But Alien won.
Yeah, Alien won. I think Great White Shark got screwed. It's kind of like nobody foresaw the Great White Shark losing. Like nobody saw the 38-1 team losing to Wisconsin. That's kind of how it is. So,
this all connects back to basketball.
It really does.
So congrats to the aliens. We don't know who are real or not. Speaking
of Tennessee, did you see where they're cheating in football? It's not a surprise, but they are. They're cheating, and they.
Oh yeah, the NCAA put the hammer down, didn't they?
Yeah, they vacated some wins, like a bunch of wins. It's like 19.
A lot worse than they did to what's his name too. Kenny.
So
they just slapped him on the wrist.
They did, yeah. But they cracked down on Tennessee. They had the McDonald's bags. Yeah, I think that's what all this was from when they were handing cash to McDonald's bags to the players. So another reason why the Tennessee fan lost to the Panther there. So Tennessee and West Virginia. That's the gifts they keep on giving. That's for sure. Hey, if
Yeah,
anybody
just
else
as a reminder, this is what you get into when you're having to. Oh, it's not showing it. 1 second.
As a reminder, while Caden's pulling that up, if anybody else wants to call 502-234-1504, give us a shout. There you go. That's a Tennessee fan, if we ever saw one.
That's the epitome of Tennessee fan.
That is. Yes. Did you see that meme I posted on the Talkin Kentucky page today?
We can make a meme out of this.
Oh, we're going to make a meme out of that. That's... It already
Tennessee
is.
loses in the first round again. Can that be the meme?
Yep. Any kind of. Yeah.
But no, what meme did you post?
It was the these pesky creatures coming out again in the summer.
Oh,
it was
I did
like
see that.
Mosquitoes and and flies and a Tennessee fan. Yeah.
All the same.
Appropriate. I keep thinking, I keep looking at Shaden Sharp back in the background. It's like it's hilarious. Like I'm used to it, but at the same time I'm not used to it.
Did you see Clyde call me? He said it's been 3 years. Like, yeah.
Has it been 3 years?
Full disclosure, I could not figure out how to get it's like this program you have to pay to get more pictures to upload. So
you got to remove it and add another one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're on the free version here in Talkin Kentucky, but
yeah, the host Coleman and I are logged into the host account. And
see, I want to find another Shaden picture to put up, but I can't.
Jonathan, you had one of the funniest quotes in the history of this show. A couple episodes ago, you said my computer's not being like Shaden Sharp's not wanting to work or something, not wanting to play.
I want to play. Yeah.
It was really funny. It was one day I wasn't on and I was listening back and I heard that and I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, you should hear him talk to his band kids. There's all kinds of jokes like that. It's pretty good.
Yeah, he's just like Cal with the go and everything. So, and they're young and everything. So
get open. Well, or get in line more so, I guess.
Do you know what the difference is between a saxophone and a lawnmower?
Nope.
There is no difference. They sound the same.
You can tune a lawnmower.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's a bunch of good ones. How many trumpet players did take the screw in a light bulb? What one to do it and one to say I could do it better.
Do it, and 15 to say they can do it better. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you get the trombone player off your porch? Pay him for the pizza. The funniest one I've ever heard is a trombone player and a frog are walking down the street. What's the difference between the two? The frog was on its way. Yeah, it's a good.
On its way to a what? You cut out.
To a gig.
Oh.
So yeah.
I thought my percussion session.
Well, how do you know there's a percussionist at your door? Knocking gets faster. That's what it is. Yeah, we got them all day. We could have another podcast just banjos, but well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. We got a lot of, Clyde has recruited for us here in the comments. He also says we're not the only life form in the universe. I still think we are, but yeah,
now I'm a tentative. We're the only one. Tentative.
Tentative. You really pronounce that. Tentative.
Tentative. Yes.
Anyway, like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And I meant to do this at the beginning of the show. I wanted to give a shout out to all the podcast platforms that we're actually on, because I don't think I'd actually ever done that on the show before. So we can be found on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Let's see what else we got here. We got Amazon Music. We've got Google Podcast, and we've got Castbox, which I don't know what that is. Caden has mentioned, even on our page, Caden commented, I still don't know what Castbox is. And I either, but we're on there. I was thinking about applying to be on iHeartRadio, but it's kind of like applying to work at the Pentagon to get your podcast on there. So I didn't really think it was worth it. So, you know, and how many people listen to our anyway? So, you know, and now we're really not getting on there because I just said that on our podcast. So that would be funny if we did get on there after saying that. But anyway, that's, you know, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Google Podcast, and Castbox, whatever that is. We're on all those. Be sure to subscribe and rate us on those, especially if you've ever missed the show live. You want to go back and listen, you can do that. So I think there's only one thing left to do. We just got to name the episode. And now we've crowned our alien champion.
You know, I joked about talking tentative, but you know, there's a lot of things to be tentative about. Like, we're tentatively excited about the Kentucky basketball season.
Yeah, that's good.
I guess that's the big one, obviously.
It's tentative that Joe Milton's going to be a good quarterback at Tennessee. It's good. Yeah. Tentative that our offensive line is going to be better. Yeah, there's a lot of. We're just waiting for the season to start at this point, so it's very tentative. I like
that. Go with talking alien because they want to bracket. Either one's fine with me.
Talking great white shark.
Talking ET.
ET phone home.
Talking phone home.
I like the tentative because you got the alliteration there. Talking tentative. You know, you got the just rolls off the tongue. So,
do it.
Well, and like I said, you know, stay tuned about next week. Might be having a guest on the show, so we'll let you all know about that. But yeah, well, for Coleman Scott, for Caden Holmes, for Jonathan Holmes, and I've got to throw this up on the screen before I get out of here. Loyal BBN fan show in the comments. Hey guys, so sorry I missed it. Packing for Vegas. Hey, loyal BBN fans going to Vegas. I guess that's what happens when your show is really good. You can
when you're big time, yeah.
When you're big time like loyal BBN fan, you can go to Vegas.
Yeah, remember us, loyal BBN fan.
Yeah, remember the little guys, for sure. When you're famous.
Hey,
Danny Morris
it's
says,
okay,
go Cats.
Loyal BBN fan. All you did was miss this.
Yeah, you do need to go back and we did a wild animal bracket. That's why we have a Tennessee fan on here, is because we did a bracket of the scariest wild animals.
As always, they lost in the first round. So
yeah, so it's very accurate to real life. So. Well, thanks for popping in the comments, if loyal BPN fan, and you're talking tentative. I like it. We're very, very tentative about the season, and he enjoyed the Tennessee fan picture there. It looks like that's for sure. So, well, for Coleman Scott, for Caden Holmes, for Jonathan Holmes, for Tennessee fans, this has been. And aliens, yeah, and great white sharks, and black mambas, and pissed off skunks. This has been episode number 61 of Talking Kentucky, and we'll see y'all next week. Thanks for listening. See you later. Go Cats.